Hey lovelies, welcome to my channel Pagan Gifts. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really want to show you how I make my love spell jars. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert. I've been learning about how to make spell jars the last couple of weeks, and so far my favorite one has been the spell jar I made for love, not just self-love, however, just love in general, relationships, passion. And it's my way to connect with Venus, who is my main patron. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to stay around and see how I made this super cute little love jar, then stay tuned. The first thing I'm gonna do is light some incense to cleanse out my jar. I'm using rose incense, however you can also use other scents that relate to passion, lust, relationships, and love. As you can see, my jar is about 8 centimeters tall, so I'll only be putting small amounts of each ingredient inside. You can use different sized jars. If it's larger than mine, then I recommend using more amounts of the ingredients or layering them on top of each other. Here I'm lighting the incense and I'm going to put it inside the jar slowly and swoosh it around without smacking the sides, while I set my intention and think about why I'm making this spell jar. The first ingredient I'm going to put inside the jar is raw sugar. It's literally just your standard sugar that you use for cooking, and I'm just going to pour it inside. Next, I have some glitter. I'm going to be using white glitter to put on top of the sugar. However, you can use pink or red or green, any color that relates to your intention. And I also recommend using biodegradable glitter because it is better in the end. However, it is a spell jar and the glitter won't be going anywhere, so I'm just using my altar spoon to scoop out some of the glitter and pour it on top of the sugar. It does make a really cute effect when the glitter kind of goes through and mixes in with the sugar. Here I have some rose quartz chips. I'm going to layer some of them on top of the glitter, and you will see I'm also going to pull some aside that we'll be using later on. And now I am going to get some of my peach moonstone chips and put them on top as well. You can use other crystals. You don't have to be limited to these. You can use aventurine, red agate, garnet, pink tourmaline. And I just grabbed an aged piece of paper that I aged myself and wrote just a little hymn to Venus herself. And then I rolled it up into a scroll and put it inside. You can also just write one word on there for your intention, but I like to write a little hymn. Now I'm going to get some of my dried rose petals and I'm going to put them inside. If you do this, you will have to kind of push them inside around the piece of paper because it does kind of get in the way. Also, I just want to say to be mindful of where you source your herbs from. You really don't want to be using flowers from the shops because they get sprayed with chemicals. So yes, please be mindful. Here I have some lavender that I purchased from Witch Sense Organics in the Tambourine Mountains here in Queensland. It smells absolutely amazing. And she makes literally the cutest things in her shop, and you can even go in there and watch her hand make them. You can use any kind of cinnamon. I just use ground cinnamon, again, just from the pantry. Here I'm pouring in a little bit into my mortar, and I'm adding some elderflower. These are both fantastic herbs for protection, so I'm just crushing them together. And now I'm going to spoon them on top of the lavender. And the last herb I'm going to use is jasmine flowers. They're quite hard to get out of my jar, so I had to use some tweezers to fit them all in. So now what you want to do is put the cork back on the top once you filled it up, and cut a large piece of brown string, wrap it around the top of the jar into a super cute bow, and then cut off the excess ends. I am pretty slow at this part. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to cut off the ends, and then I'm going to get half a cup of soy wax. I use 464 golden wax. I'm going to pour it into a bowl, and then I'm going to add some Aussie candle supplies, English rose fragrance, just a little bit of it, and a little bit of the Aussie candle supplies dye block pink color. I'm going to mix it up, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and then it'll come out looking like this. Here I tried a different technique of dipping the top of the jar in the wax. I thought it would make a really cool effect. It didn't really work out, so I ended up just doing what I usually do and pouring the wax over the top of the jar and letting it run down the sides. So now I'm going to get those crystals we put aside earlier and put them on the top of the jar just to decorate it and make it look super cute. You can also put some extra herbs or herbs that you dropped on the top as well. It just really makes it look cute. If you're not a big fan of the wax going over the top of the brown string, you can always do the wax first and then decorate it with the string. That's probably how I'd prefer it, though I feel like it's not the best way to seal your spell jar. And here we have it, a gorgeous Venus love spell jar. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, leave a comment and subscribe, and feel free to send me pictures on my social media if you did give this a go. I'd love to see them. Bye!